So here we are, folks. First time with the Spider 22 grill. Going to do the unboxing on it. Going to take a look around at the box, see how it arrived from UPS. Guy brought it down here with a hand truck. So here we go, flipping the camera. Spider 22 pellet adapter for Kettle grills, the original. Now this thing is, the company is based in Athens, Georgia, but they shipped this thing up here to Cleveland, Georgia from Texas. Because I guess that's where they get them from where they make them in China. They are made in China. There's a box that's in good shape for traveling from Texas in a couple of days. It's taped up good, very heavy cardboard. Maybe a ding or two on the box, but that ain't going to go through because that cardboard is thick. So there's a Spider 22 in the box. I'm going to open up the box here in a second, and then we'll do some more. Hey guys, this is me again. I'm going to be opening up the Spider 22 grill box. Here we go. It is taped up with extra thick tape. And the cardboard you can see is extra thick. Had to be traveling from China. Open up the box. And the first thing you see is styrofoam. Good heavy styrofoam for travel. What you got first is you got the diffuser plate. Wrapped up really nice. Heavy steel. Looking good. The unit is in there. It looks all in one piece. Here's the instructions with the temperature sensor, the drip tray adapter, and the bolts. So that's it for now. I'm going to stop right now and I ain't going to do any more part. Later. Thank you, honey. You did great. You did great, honey. Thank you very much. I think she did perfect. Okay, here I am with the Spider 22 unboxing. You can see all the styrofoam and the styrofoam balls that come off of it. Standing it up on the big piece of styrofoam that's on there to put the legs on. Probably the best way to do it. You know, they say to use cardboard on the website. That styrofoam's got another use than it'll be a big mess. Out the box, it's got some, looks like discoloration where they heat tested it, which is good. I'd rather have it tested than not. Side of it looks good, no dents or dings, it's appreciable. Front of it looks good. They added the 275 heat on it, which is awesome. Sorry it's upside down. I'll get a better picture of that in a little bit. So they changed the heat settings on it, which everybody was requesting, which is good. Alright, that's all for now. I'm going to put the legs on here in just a second. In starting the assembly process, the manual that they showed online, everybody showed with 2 washers, shows 1 washer. Well, the unit today shipped with no washers. None in the bag, none anywhere. It looks like they've changed the coarseness of the threads that I've seen on everybody else's videos. So maybe it's an update where you don't need washers. You can see that the washer head, the thumb screw head, is recessed. So I'm hoping it'll do fine without washers. Here's a check. Oh, when I place the unit on its side, on the styrofoam, which is a whole lot softer and a little bit raised up, if you spread the edges out, it'll go directly over the pins. So the pins fit easier if you just spread it a little bit and hold it on each side and it evens up. Alright. Okay, leg assembly is attached. The coarse threads went good. You just got to make sure you got it tilted the right way or else it will be hard to get a clear opening on the hole. But you can see it cinches up good without a washer. Both sides cinch up well, tighten up well and easy. Bottom of the feet, you can see it's got the feet on each side for the rubber feet. All along, so far good. Now I got the unit out of the box, legs on, up at its highest level. Only problem I see with the packaging is this. Styrofoam. Flipping styrofoam breaks off everywhere. So if best option I found to fix it, shop vac. So I'm going to shop vac up all this styrofoam, go from there. Here's all the styrofoam finally got off of it. One thing you always want to do just to double check it, your burn cone that connects up with your Weber, You want to make sure you can take it off, and it does just twist off. Double check your fire pot. Fire pot releases from the other side and from the top too. So make sure you vacuum out anything, reduce debris or anything that might be in it. This little bit of stuff here, I'm going to use a wet cloth to get that little residue up. Talking about the different heat settings it's got now. You look on the back of the unit. Here's your connectors. It's got adjustments so that you can tighten it and loosen it so that it tightens up. Over time it may reduce, so they looks like they fixed that so you can adjust the tension, which is a very good idea. Over here you can see they got the different heat settings now. Sorry for the reflection. Let me change that. Okay, there's the different heat settings it's got now. Now it's smoke, 225, 250, 275, 300, 350, 400, 450, and high. A lot of people requested 275. Looks like Spider Grills listens. Imagine that. And so I got it cleaned up. One thing that hasn't been mentioned a lot by people when they're looking at the build of it, the exterior is a powder coated black. Looks like it's a 22 gauge or 18 gauge or 20 gauge steel. It's a powder black coat. But the burn pot is a stainless burn pot. The cone is stainless. Of course, it's been burnt. It's been tested with burn, so it's got some discoloration. But the burn chamber itself is also stainless. And it's separated and screwed in, so it looks like if you needed to, you could do a replacement on the burn chamber, which is a very good way of doing something. The auger, you can see just a little bit in there. And then there's the element also for heating up the unit. Also, when you're putting this back on, make sure that you put the high side. If you do take off your chamber nozzle, make sure when you get it seated in, that you put it on so the high side's up on the high side of the unit. One thing I noticed when cleaning out the unit, inside the burn pot, there was residue metallic shavings that may need to be looked at by the company and by the QA people. It did show up as metal shavings when you look at it in the right light on a cloth. So you can see the metal shavings that came off the unit. See there in the burn chamber? So make sure you vacuum that out good before you use first use. I don't think you'd have to worry about it getting in your food, but it's just as a safety precaution. Make sure you get the chamber. It's not in the cup at the bottom. The cup comes out at the bottom, but it's in the burn chamber itself. So keep a check out on that when you do your unit. Just make sure you vacuum it out well before you start. So here we go. Here's the Spider 22. Sitting beside the Weber Kettle 22 that I've had for 20 plus years. Still in good shape. Never could find myself getting rid of it. Didn't want to get rid of it. Was going to keep it no matter what I got. I searched for a year for pellet grills. And I came upon this one time looking through YouTube. And I bought it. Very well built. Sturdy. It's going to go right here on the back side where the wheels come together. First thing you got to do is you got to remove the ash pan tray. Take the lid off. Take out the internal grills, the grill grates, and go from there. Just a word of advice. The older kettles seem like they have a different radius on the pan. It still fits, but to get the top to hook in, like you have to have the hook, and you get the burn chamber to hook in, you got to take the knobs off because it just don't bend back enough. It looks like there's a little bit of a radius difference on the very older ones versus the very newer ones when they built them. You can see that it's got just a little bit steeper pan, a little bit deeper pan too. But it'll work. You just got to take it off and be patient. Okay, I got the set screws back in. If you need to, you can use a screwdriver to get your angle set on that. Just don't force it. Make sure it threads up smooth and easy. There they are, locked on both sides. So there's a burn chamber fitted into the slot. You can see the older models, the slot was cut just slightly different. I guess not everybody has a 20-something-year-old kettle that they're using, but it still fits, even though it's got a higher little rim, and it does set back a little different. Looks like it'll work just fine. It's up off the ground still. I hadn't set the height for the legs yet. Getting ready to do that next. So I got the kettle set. Make sure you get when you level it out and get it finalized to the height, that you get all three legs down on the ground. Give it better stabilization. When you're adjusting those knobs, they are a little hard to turn, but a good pair of work gloves makes all the difference in the world. Just get it level. Go easy with it, don't force it. So for my first burn-in and usage, I'm going to use these Competition Blend All Natural Pit Boss Pellet. Picked them up at Walmart, 40-pound bag, 14 bucks. Traeger's at Ace Hardware, $21 for 20 pounds. Still, Walmart's the best place to get pellets and stuff because you can't beat the price. And pellets are American made. 100% USA, made in the USA natural hardwood from the Northern American. Gotta be good. It took 30 scoops to fill up the cannon, to fill up the hopper. And I still got a whole bunch left in the bag. If you use a scoop, you don't have to worry so much about dust, because most of the dust settles in the bag in transport. So I got a lot less dust than you normally would have if you just scoop. It takes a little more time, but in the long run, less dust is good for your unit. So here's a Spider 22 unit all loaded up, ready to go. Got the drip pan in there. You got your drip tray there. Make sure that your drip hook is out on the outside, coming through the hole. Remember, this is where you put your drip tray hook, not there. That's your drip for your drip hole. You can see it there, not there. And there's your drip hook. Walking around the unit, it looks clean, marries up well with the Weber 22. Weber 22 meets Spider 22. Looking good so far. Okay, remember to do, once you get your deflector tray put in, put your grate on, hook your heat probe up close to where you're going to be cooking your food. Run your heat probe down and plug it into the unit. If you don't plug it into the unit can sense temperature and it will throw an error. So make sure that you got the plug plugged in completely, hooked up to your grate. So here's a Spider 22, first cooked with about 10 chicken legs on it. Temperature's coming up slowly to 300. It was at 300 almost. I pulled the lid, put the legs on, it came down a good bit. But it's settling back up again. It's at 275 now, which is a good starting temp. If it settles up to 300 on them chicken legs, I will be happy. So it's only been about 5 minutes since I put them on. Already up to 280. Look at that. Climbing right up. Working like a charm. I'm gonna break protocol and take the lid off so you can see all these chicken legs real quick. Here it goes. Chicken legs. Look at all that. Seasoned up different ways. Put it back down. I'm gonna raise it again for an hour. So there it is. Chicken legs on the Spider 22. Here's a Spider 22 on its first cook. Set on 300 for chicken legs, cooking at 300. We'll see how they look in an hour. Moving right along. Looking out the exhaust, you might be able to see a little bit of heat rising. And you can smell the wood cooking. It's a good smell, especially that chicken leg seasoning working too. There's my high-tech grip can. Working as it's supposed to so far. Chicken shouldn't have a lot of grease, so we'll see how they do. So after an hour and a half cook yesterday of some chicken legs, the ash that was produced, took the ash cup out. The ash produced was that much. That's how clean a burn this unit does. That's an hour and a half of usage for cooking chicken legs. I had filled up the hopper completely yesterday, all the way to the top, and the hopper ended up going down only that much after an hour and a half. It was filled up to here. So that much pellets turned into that much ash. Now that's an efficient burn.